Bonjour les Frenchies! Today I'm going to explain the vocab for Unité 1B and 1C. Ça va and on va. So here we go. So the first thing we need to talk about is asking people how they're doing. And there's a couple ways that you can do this. One is more of a casual way that you would use with your friends and family, and the other is more formal, and that's the one that you would use with people you don't know as well. So the casual one is ça va, ça va, and then if you even want to be more complete, you would say comment ça va, comment ça va, and instead of how are you doing, this actually means how is it going. And then if you want to be more formal about it, you would say comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? So there are a few ways that people could answer this, and some are kind of more of a positive way, some are more neutral, and then some aren't so great. The more positive ones are très bien, and that means very well. And then there is pas mal, and that's not as good as très bien. It means not bad. More neutral ways are oui, ça va, and then there's also comme ci, comme ça, And the one that's mostly used, though, is oui, ça va. And in fact, a lot of people will ask you if you're at the cash register or something in a French-speaking country, they'll ask you ça va, and then you will usually respond oui, ça va, or just oui. Comme ci, comme ça isn't as current, but it's one that you should know. And then finally, there are the expressions that you would use to tell that you're not doing well. And the first one is pas très bien, and then the other is ça va mal, So from the happier, feel-good expressions and the not-so-good, kind of sad expressions, you can probably figure out that bien means well, and mal means not so well, or not very good. If you want to ask somebody else how they're doing, if they're asking you how you're doing, and you want to ask, well, okay, how are you doing? You would respond either casually, et toi? Et toi? And a lot of people pronounce that toi, and it is not toi, it is toi. And that means and you, in a casual way. And then the other option, if you want to be more formal, if you don't know someone as well, would be et vous? Et vous? And that also means and you, it's just more of a formal way to ask. Then there are a few different ways to say goodbye. A general way to say goodbye is au revoir, au revoir. And then a more casual way is salut, salut. And you may have seen salut earlier, where we say hi with salut, and salut also means bye. Again, it's more casual. You would use it with people you know well, like friends or family. Then there are two more expressions that you should know about, and one is a bientôt, a bientôt. And a bientôt means see you soon. And then another one you'd use if you're not going to see someone as soon is à demain, à demain. And à demain means see you tomorrow. The next section is all about inviting people to do something. And there are two expressions that you can use to invite someone to do something with you. One of them is on va, on va. And then another way you can say it that's kind of longer is tu voudrais aller, tu voudrais aller. And on va is super casual. Tu voudrais aller is a little bit more formal, but it wouldn't be like a formal thing that you would use like with vous. Tu voudrais aller is still casual. It's just not as casual as on va. And then there are a bunch of different places where you could invite people to go. You could invite them to go to a house, and literally à la maison means to the house, to the house. So repeat after me. On va à la maison. On va à la maison. Tu voudrais aller à la maison. Tu voudrais aller à la maison. And the next one you'll know is à la teuf or à la fête. And both of these mean the same thing, which means to invite somebody to go to a party. So sometimes there are words that mean the same thing even though they look differently, and these are two of those words. So répétez, on va à la teuf. On va à la teuf. Tu voudrais aller à la teuf. Tu voudrais aller à la teuf. On va à la fête. On va à la fête. Tu voudrais aller à la fête. Tu voudrais aller à la fête. And then a few more. We have au cinéma, which is asking if they would like to go to the movie theater. On va au cinéma. On va au cinéma. Tu voudrais aller au cinéma. Tu voudrais aller au cinéma. Then there's the centre commercial, which is the mall, my favorite place. On va au centre commercial. On va au centre commercial. Tu voudrais aller au centre commercial. Tu voudrais aller au centre commercial. And then finally, our favorite place is the cafe. And in France, the cafe is a place where people like to hang out for a long period of time and really slowly have a meal or a snack or a cup of coffee and catch up with a friend or just people watch. So here we go. On va au café. On va au café. Tu voudrais aller au café. Tu voudrais aller au café? And one other thing that you should know about these is the on va, which means should we go or let's go. On va can also be used as a statement with these places. So if somebody said on va à la maison and it was more of a statement, like on va à la maison, that would mean let's go to the house. If we said on va au cinéma, then that is more of a statement. So that means let's go to the movies. So it can be used as a statement and a question. In order to accept or decline an invitation, there are a couple phrases you can use for that. The first way to accept is d'accord, d'accord. And that literally means okay, sounds good. And then the other one is oui, je veux bien. Oui, je veux bien. And that means, yes, I'd really like to. If you were going to decline an invitation, there are a couple ways to do that as well. You could say pas possible. Pas possible. And that means impossible, like not possible. I can't. And then there is also je ne peux pas. Je ne peux pas. And that means more like I'm not able to or I can't. So sometimes if you are declining an invitation, you feel like you need to give a reason why. And that's this next set of phrases. First of all, we have a good old-fashioned je dois faire mes devoirs, which is a great excuse for anything. I have to do my homework, or I must do my homework. One more time. Je dois faire mes devoirs. Je dois faire mes devoirs. I must do my homework. So much fun. And then there are also some expressions you can use if you need to help someone. So you can't do something because you have to help somebody else. J'aide means I'm helping. J'aide. And then people that you can help include mon père. J'aide mon père. J'aide mon père. And that means I'm helping my dad. You can say j'aide mon copain or j'aide ma copine. And we know that from the last section means I'm helping my friend, either a male friend with mon copain or a female friend, ma copine. You can also be helping your teacher, which they would always appreciate. You could say j'aide mon prof or j'aide ma prof. And the full word for prof is professeur. Either way is fine, but prof is more casual. You would use mon prof or mon for a male teacher and ma prof or ma for a female teacher. Then finally, if you want to help or if you need to help your mom, you would say j'aide ma mère. J'aide ma mère. And that's the end of our slideshow. So I hope you've learned a little bit about pronouncing words like how are you doing, asking somebody how they are doing, inviting people to do something, accepting or declining an invitation, and then giving a reason or an excuse why you can't do something if you have to decline. There are also Quizlets available for this, and at some point we are going to do some practice Gimkits for this or some other type of practice in class. Au revoir la classe de français.